My daughter made a terrible mistake, and it saved her life. She was 19, driving home from her college campus on a Friday night. It was the first semester she'd been allowed to drive back alone instead of catching a ride with her roommate. We'd had the safety talk a dozen times. Hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, no distractions. I got a call at 11 p.m. from a number I didn't recognize. My stomach immediately dropped. Ma'am, this is Steven. Your daughter just rear-ended my car at the intersection of Maple and Route 7. She's okay, just really upset. We're waiting for the police. I was already grabbing my keys. Is she hurt? Did the airbags deploy? No airbags, it was low speed. She's sitting on the curb right now. I think she's more scared than anything. I made it there in 18 minutes. Should have been 25, but I was speeding the whole way. When I pulled up, I saw Skylar sitting on the curb with her face buried in her hands. A guy in his 30s stood near a silver Honda with a dented bumper. Skylar's front end was crumpled, headlight smashed. The other driver, Steven, walked over. You must be Mom. She's been crying for 10 minutes, kept apologizing. I knelt beside Skylar. She looked up at me, mascara running down her face. Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What happened? I was texting Carly about the party tomorrow. I looked down for literally 2 seconds, and when I looked up, his brake lights were right there. I slammed the brakes, but a police officer approached with his notepad. Evening. Everyone okay here? Steven nodded. Yeah, we're good. Just exchanging insurance. The officer started taking statements. He was asking Skylar basic questions. License, registration, what happened, when his radio suddenly crackled to life with urgent chatter. All units. All units. Major MVA on Highway 29 northbound near exit 34. Multiple vehicles involved. Request immediate backup and EMS. The officer's expression changed. He stepped away to respond, his voice low and serious. Skylar was still explaining what happened, but I noticed the officer kept glancing at his watch, then at Skylar's information. He came back over, looking between Skylar and his notes. Miss, what time did the collision occur? Skylar checked her phone. 10:52. I remember because I looked right before I called my mom. The officer's face went pale. He pulled up something on his tablet, then looked at Steven. Sir, where were you both heading? I was going home, taking Highway 29 north. And you, miss? Skylar wiped her eyes. Same. I take 29 to exit 38 every Friday. The officer was quiet for a moment. Then he showed us his screen. There was a massive pileup on Highway 29 at 10:47 p.m. 7 vehicles started when a semi jackknifed in the rain. 2 people didn't make it. My blood ran cold. He pulled up the location. This is 5 minutes north of here. If you'd gone through that light, he didn't finish the sentence. Skylar's crying stopped. She just stared at him. What? You would have been right in the middle of it. Based on your speed and route, you would have hit that section at approximately 10:46, maybe 10:47. Steven's face had gone white too. We both would have been there. The officer nodded slowly. The traffic camera footage shows the semi lost control at 10:47:03. It happened fast. The cars that got caught in it had no warning, no time to react. I looked at Skylar's crumpled hood, then back at the officer. The dented bumper, the smashed headlight, the ticket she was about to get for texting and driving. Skylar's voice came out barely above a whisper. If I hadn't been on my phone, you'd have been through that intersection 5 minutes earlier. I finished. Steven sat down on the curb next to Skylar. Neither of them said anything for a long moment. The officer cleared his throat. I still have to cite you for the distracted driving and following too closely, but he looked at the highway in the distance, emergency lights flashing red and blue against the night sky. Sometimes we get lucky in the strangest ways. Skylar stared at her phone, still in her hand. The text to Carly was still on the screen, unsent. Mom, I pulled her into a hug before she could finish. She whispered against my shoulder. I could have been dead right now. Steven overheard and nodded quietly. We both could have. The officer handed Skylar the citation. $150 fine for distracted driving. He paused, looking at both of them. Cheapest thing you'll ever buy. We drove home in silence that night. Skylar never texted while driving again.